Hey Pretty Girl Club. So I'm thinking about making this video my trailer video for this YouTube channel, or at least I will temporarily make it my trailer video. Right now I've got the browner skinned mixed woman video up on my channel if you take a look. But I want to talk about the exotical space and the exotical sphere. I don't know, I'm just making up words. But I want to talk about what this space is for and how it's important to talk about the issues for mixed race women or mixed passing women. That's the best phrase I can think of to describe it. So maybe you do not consider yourself mixed race, but because you benefit from isms, colorism, texturism, or featureism, it causes people to kind of throw you in and out of blackness. But I want to talk about this because I have noticed that this space is gaining a lot of traction on YouTube. I've got thousands of you guys coming to this channel. This channel gained over 4,000 subscribers in the past month, so that's incredible. My channel has more than doubled in the past, I think, 3 months or so. And so this space is something that is very needed, and I'm so glad that we're coming together to talk about these things and to talk about these things not even from a hateful or angry place, but just talking about them in general. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of Black women empowerment content creators, they have been catching wind of this side of YouTube, and some of them they might try to like take on the talking points and make it as if they've always had this mindset over on their channels. And I'm not even trying to gaslight other people or say that they can't use certain talking points because, first of all, I'm not the queen of YouTube. Secondly, I think that a lot of our talking points are very valid. But the way that I see this space is we are almost like a think tank. This channel is almost like a social experiment where we've been able to bring together both monoracial Black women as well as multiracial Black women. And the commonality that we have is being mixed or being mixed passing and kind of being treated differently because of our phenotype. And so this channel is proof that there can be a conversation amongst monoracial Black women and mixed Black women. So I think that is something that's really special about this space. Another thing that this side of YouTube tends to focus on is the diversity of mixed race people. I am not a 50% white, 50% Black biracial. My background is actually Black, white, Latin American, so I do have some indigenous in my bloodline, and I do believe that it kind of comes out in my phenotype just a little bit. But one of the things that we do over here is we talk about multi-generationally mixed people. So that means people who are mixed throughout the generations. So maybe you don't have one Black parent and one white parent, but you have one Black parent and one biracial parent. You have one white parent and one biracial parent, or you have two biracial parents, or you have two multiracial parents. So I love the fact that we talk about the diversity of the mixed race community. Another thing that this channel promotes is we promote dark-skinned mixed race women. We promote dark-skinned multiracial women. This channel also creates a space for monoracials who are quote-unquote mixed passing, or they're going to be thrown into the mixed category because of things like their features. So you're going to see probably a lot of people who have kind of that Horn African background on this channel. So because of their features here in the United States, people are going to stereotype them as, oh, you're an other, you're something else. Same thing goes for light-skinned monoracial women or women who just happen to have these features that make them not fit into being an unambiguous dark-skinned Black woman. So these are women like Tyra Banks. Maybe you have that light skin tone, maybe you have lighter eyes, your hair is a looser texture. That's what this channel focuses on. By the way, we've got dozens of other content creators coming out with their own channels. Shout out to, we've got Exotical Dollhouse, All Mixed Up MGM, Creole Lady Marmalade. By the way, if I forget your channel name, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. But I do try to use the community page to share whatever channels come across my algorithm. It's not biased or anything like that. None of these creators, I don't know any of them in real life. They're not paying me to put them on my page or anything like that. So I try to just share whatever content comes up in my algorithm that I like. But the main reason I wanted to make this video is because if you are new to this channel, you will experience culture shock. So culture shock is when you go to a place that has a different mindset than you. People are talking about things from a different perspective. You are not used to going to a different environment because you're coming from the environment where there is this very strict groupthink. And so for a lot of you guys who are coming here from Black women empowerment channels, you're used to being around a community where they have a very strong groupthink. They have a very one-way mindset. By the way, that's not a bad thing because that is a part of how different political groups gain power. It's by having these common talking points and then all agreeing on a standard and then promoting that standard to the masses. So it's actually not a bad thing. But if you're coming from the Black side of YouTube, you're going to start off by being very shocked when you come to this channel because you've never heard anyone talk about Blackness from a multiracial Black perspective. You've never heard people talk about Blackness from the perspective of a Black person that benefits from isms. You've never really heard that. And over in the Black side of YouTube, because of their talking points and because of their groupthink and because of their experiences, they're more likely to throw out words like colorist, texturist, featurist, anti-Black, white supremacist. And I've noticed that over there, they tend to have a pattern of if you disagree with them, you're a white supremacist, or if you disagree with them, it's because you're a colorist, or you can't see things their way because you're benefiting from isms. And so this channel was created as a response to the colorism conversation because the thing that we all have in common on this channel is that we all have experienced being underprivileged while simultaneously being privileged in other areas. So this channel addresses both sides. We talk about the privileges we receive, and we talk about maybe the bad side of receiving those privileges and how it causes people to throw us in and out of Blackness. It causes us to feel pressure to prove our Blackness to others. We talk about that, and we also talk about being underprivileged. So the common experiences that we share with Black women. And it's funny because a lot of people will come on here and they'll say, well, I'm an unambiguous Black woman and I have the same experiences as you. And it's like, well, yeah, duh, because this channel still centers Blackness. We're not on this channel trying to deny our Blackness or trying to say like, oh, we hate Blackness. All we're saying on this channel is that I am both Black and something else, or I am Black and I benefit from XYZ privileges. And here's my experience because of that. So if you're coming from a lot of pro-Black spaces, you're going to experience culture shock when you come to this channel because this is not, I don't consider this to be a pro-Black space. I certainly don't consider it to be a pro-Black men's space. And this channel gets very honest about our experiences. So if you can't relate to this channel, feel free to unsubscribe because, I mean, there are thousands of us here already, and there are dozens of other channels who are talking about the same thing. So we can't all be lying. We can't all be delusional. But I've noticed that in the pro-Black space, if you have any mindset that is different from theirs, they're automatically going to say you're a colorist, or they're automatically going to say you are anti-Black. So for example, on this channel, I call you guys the Pretty Girl Club, and I say that we're pretty. And that is my way of validating the beauty of the women who are on this channel. This channel was created to validate mixed race or mixed passing Black women. And so I'm going to continue to do that. And it's like, if a pro-Black content creator calls her subscribers the pretty chocolate girls, I don't see anybody getting mad about that. But suddenly, if I say, oh, welcome to the Pretty Girl Club, then people are like, oh no, you're making being pretty synonymous with being mixed. You're trying to say that somebody is pretty because they're mixed. But it's like, I don't get mad if unambiguous Black women say they're pretty because they are unambiguous, or they're pretty because they have 4C hair and dark skin. I don't get mad at that. I don't get mad at blonde white women who say, oh, I'm a pretty blonde, or like I'm a bombshell blonde. I don't get mad and say, oh, you're equating being pretty with being blonde, with having blonde hair and big boobs. Just because someone celebrates their own beauty doesn't mean that they're invalidating yours. But for a lot of people who come from the pro-Black YouTube channels, they're going to experience a heavy culture shock with this channel because they're not used to seeing things from a different perspective. They have been so conditioned to remain silent about their own experiences, and they've been so conditioned to only view Blackness one way to the point where in their minds they don't realize that they have kind of equated unambiguous Blackness with being a victim. They've equated unambiguous Blackness with being the last to be chosen, the last to get married. You don't have pretty privilege, and that sucks. People don't like your features. All of that stuff, we don't necessarily subscribe to that on this channel. We may talk about our experiences with that, but that's not what this channel is focused around. And so I've noticed that for a lot of the people who come from these pro-Black spaces where there's kind of just one way of thinking, they're going to come to this channel and they're going to see my titles, which are created so that I can get picked up in the algorithm, and it's working very well. But they're going to see my titles, they're going to see my thumbnails, and they're going to make assumptions because they have been socially conditioned. By the way, this is a sociology and psychology channel, so I understand brainwashing. So they've been so heavily socialized and conditioned to equate blackness to whatever the pro-black people say and all these hotep talking points, to the point where if they see my videos, all it takes is them seeing a title to immediately rush into my comment section and say things like, "You don't support dark-skinned women." And that's false. I have thousands of dark-skinned women on this channel who are either monoracial, maybe they have a Horn African background, maybe they're like Ethiopian or something like that, or they benefit from things like featurism and texturism. I also have dark-skinned mixed-race women who are on this channel. But because some people have been so heavily socialized to equate being mixed race with being anti-black, they're going to come on this channel and experience culture shock. Also, I do not allow people free access into my comment section. This is not the slums of YouTube. This is not the ghetto of YouTube. You can't come into my comment section disrespectful. You cannot come into my comment section being rude to myself as the creator or being rude to the people who are in the comment section. This is a safe space for both myself as a creator and the subscribers to this channel. I can remove anyone from my comment section for any reason that I see fit, and I do have a tendency to sometimes be a little stricter when I see that you're a new person on my channel and I don't recognize your comments, and then you just come in trying to say, "Oh, I'm going to play the other side," or "I'm just going to play devil's advocate," or "This is my opinion." No, because I know that a lot of you guys are just new people coming from the Black women empowerment space, and you don't even realize that on a subconscious level, you're trying to redirect my talking points. And the problem with people leaving all these negative comments on YouTube, it's not because people can't have their opinions. You're free to have your own opinion. But what I've noticed is that when people leave negative comments, they're not talking to the creator. You're not leaving a negative comment just so I can see it. You come onto this channel and you try to leave these comments bashing me because you are hoping that the thousands of other people who follow this channel will see your comment and then follow you and follow what you say. So people who come on here to leave bad comments, they're actually trying to, on a subconscious level, invalidate this entire space, and I do not allow that on here. I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. So if you come into this space attempting to spew all of whatever your talking points are, you will immediately be banned and hidden from commenting on this channel. You can still watch, and my channel is still going to pop up in your algorithm, but when you comment, only you can see the comment. I won't be able to see it, and my subscribers won't be able to see it. So I reset my community settings about maybe once every 6 months or so. And so I recommend that if you're new to this channel, please watch at least 10 videos before you start making a bunch of comments and stuff like that, because oftentimes you're not going to realize that your subconscious programming by the Black community, it's really the Black male community, because think about it, the leaders of the unambiguous Black community have been men. Historically. And even on YouTube, Black men have actually dominated the pro-Black spaces. So a lot of these women who come and make these comments, they don't even realize how male identified they are. So you have been predisposed to a certain type of groupthink by Black men, and then sometimes by unambiguous Black women as well, to the point where if you see a channel that is not influenced really by either of those communities, you're going to immediately start fighting against it because you want us to go back to your talking points. You want us to go back to being silent. And I've noticed that ever since I made a rebuttal saying that my definition of colorism is actually based on Pulitzer Prize winner Alice Walker's definition of colorism, I've got people who have tried to come into the comment section and they'll say Alice Walker was abusive to her mixed race daughter, or like they will try to talk about Alice Walker's flaws, which is fine. But guess what? Two things can be true at the same time. She can have personal flaws, and she could also be correct about her definition of colorism. So you're not going to be able to come on this channel and try to name the flaws of whatever person I'm talking about as if that's going to invalidate my talking points. It's not going to. And also, For all the people who want to be social justice warriors in the comment section, do you keep that same energy with the black men and black women that you listen to on YouTube? And when you hear their talking points making black women a victim, do you question them or question where they got those mindsets from? Because thinking that you're at the bottom due to your blackness or thinking that your blackness is a handicap, that comes straight from white supremacy. That's exactly what racist white people want you to think. They want you to think that you are at the bottom and that you're the lowest and that you're the last to get married. So while you're over here commenting on my channel about Alice Walker and commenting about all these different things, it's like, are you even questioning the content creators that you spent the last decade watching? Because a lot of people will come to this space and then they will try to pretend like they're some sort of Mother Teresa, like they're a disciple or something, and then they want to try to moral police this content as if it's somehow bad for us to talk about our experiences. And I'm not going to tolerate that on this channel, so that is why my comment section, it is an exclusive comment section. This is an exclusive YouTube channel. We exclusively promote and center mixed race women or mixed passing black women, and that's it. I'm never changing who my core audience is. So if you hate mixed women, if you hate mixed passing black women, then this is not the channel for you, and I will gladly remove you from this channel like how I've already done with hundreds of people. I didn't come here to be popular. I didn't come here to be famous. I created this YouTube channel so that we can have our own space and kind of talk about our experiences, and so we can begin to create a culture of our own, like with our own definitions, with our own slang terms. Because another thing people will say is, well, you're making up words, you're making up definitions, you're making up terms. Yeah, that's what you do when you're creating a culture. You make up new slang words, you make up new terms, you take back negative words. People will say, oh, being exotic is bad. That means that people are fetishizing you. Well, just like black people took back the N-word and they took back words like nappy that were used to be negative against them and then they turned it into something positive or a term of endearment for themselves, we have the right to do that here on this channel. So yes, we are taking back words like exotical, words like light skin, words like red bone, yellow bone, all of these terminologies, mulatto, all of these terminologies that others have tried to use against our phenotypes. We are taking back some of those words. And yes, we are going to continue to create new phrases. We're going to continue to coin new terms like social climbing or fluid identity or privilege stacking. We're going to continue to use those terms, and we're not stopping. Like I said, this is a sociology and psychology based channel, and so a lot of what we're doing on here is we're really just trying to come together and gather and have our own gathering space where we are not being policed by unambiguous black women, we're not being policed by unambiguous black men, because like I said, my comment section is exclusive, and so this is the space where we get to come together and we all get to figure out what our commonalities are. And so that's why on my community page, you'll see me where I will do polls and stuff where we vote on certain things. Like we have voted on what color we're going to consider light-skinned on this channel, and that was based on the women who felt safe enough to comment in this space and to discuss their experiences. So I'm not going to allow my comment section to be overly infiltrated by people. And by the way, anybody can watch this channel, anybody can support. I understand that some of you guys are monoracial, you have mixed race daughters or mixed race, so that's fine. I don't mind people watching us and wanting to support. But as far as influencing the actual talking points of this channel, I'm only going to allow MLS women to do that. And also, this channel builds upon itself. So for the new MLS women who come on here, for the new ABWs who come on here and say, well, my opinion is that so-and-so is, that's not right, or like, you shouldn't say that. It's like, no, you have not been here from the beginning. So you can't come here to this channel that I've been building for multiple years and then think that you are going to totally change the entire direction of this channel. No, I gatekeep my space. I like to create content based off of what I feel inspired to talk about. And for anyone who doesn't like it, they can go find creators that resonate with them. But anyway, I don't allow judgmental comments in my exclusive comment section. I do not allow people who are derailing, detracting, deflecting, as well as people who are clearly not a part of my core audience, like men who come on to my decentering men videos. Like, if you're clearly not a part of the audience, if it's clear that you're just lurking, you can continue to lurk, but you can lurk from the clouds. You can lurk as a viewer. I'm never changing that rule. I don't care what anyone says about it. If you come onto the comment section incorrectly, like I said, you'll be banned from commenting until I reset my community settings. And then sometimes people will say, well, it's not fair that you're only speaking from this perspective. And it's like, well, life is not fair. It wasn't fair that we were silenced in the pro-black movement. It wasn't fair that lighter skinned people were silenced in the colorism conversation. It's not fair that we get silenced in the texturism conversation and in the featureism conversation. So just like how it's not fair for you to come over here and change the talking points, it also wasn't fair for us. And also, who told you that life is fair? How naive and ignorant do you have to be to think that in this messed up society that we live in, that it's somehow supposed to be fair? Like I said, I didn't come on here to be Mother Teresa. I'm not Gandhi. I'm not Martin Luther King. I'm unapologetic about my content. And unless YouTube themselves removes me from this platform, I will continue to talk my shit. Anyway, welcome to the Pretty Girl Club. And I'm glad to have you here. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.